So here he is, the World of Nintendo Link from Jakks Pacific. This one's based off of the Ocarina of Time 3D, the 3DS game. I found this guy at my local comic book shop. He ran me about $13.99. If you find him at Target, they run $8.99, and they're going for about $11.99 on Amazon. Now, I usually don't pick up these Jakks Pacific toys because the quality's pretty poor, but it's Ocarina of Time, so I had to check this one out. My biggest gripe with Jakks Pacific is just the paint applications are pretty poor. I mean, for the price point, I could see why they are that way, but it's a real downer when all these cool Nintendo toys are coming out and they just look like crud. So it's standard World of Nintendo box right here. You always get a little mystery accessory. I'm assuming it's the shield, the Hyrulean shield, because it's not shown, and it'd be kind of crappy if they didn't give that to you. I don't think it's his bow, which would kind of be cool, but the box looks kind of tiny. On the back, you get to see what he actually does. Very basic stuff. Little arm movements, leg movements, and head. I mean, it's a cheap-ass toy, so, I mean, you get what you get. This is the Series 1, the fourth wave of Series 1, and there's a Tanuki, Mario, a Shy Guy, Fire Luigi, Gravity Suit Samus, and our homeboy Link. So, yeah, let's check this guy out. Alright, so here he is out of the box. So at first glance, he does look pretty cool. The sculpts are pretty nice, and but he does feel pretty cheap. He is a cheap figure if you find him in the right spot. Like I said, at Target, he's only like $10 after tax, which is not bad. But he feels like a Happy Meal toy. Like he's a high-end Happy Meal toy. That's how I feel about him. Something you get at a fast food restaurant, which is not good. So straight out the box, like I said, Jakks Pacific has a hard time with paint applications. Although they did get some stuff right on here, there's a lot of stuff that kind of bugs me. They use two types of plastic for each arm. Green up here, it goes all the way down to the elbow, and then from the fingers up here, it's a brown plastic. So they paint it with the skin tone here, and they paint the white on the arm and elbow. But the white isn't, I don't know if you could see that. You could kind of see through the white paint. It kind of looks like something I could do. I've tooled around with some amiibos, and I'm not a very good painter. But yeah, there's clumps of white, and you could kind of see the green underneath on each arm. I guess it's kind of hard to see in this video, but it's there. Kind of bugs me a little bit. But I had an opportunity at the comic book store to choose out of 4 of these guys, and this one was the best painted. So, I mean, these are cheaply done, mass-produced figures that are cheaply priced. So, I don't think they're going to spend a lot of time on each figure trying to make it perfect. But they did a pretty good job from what they're working with and how much they're willing to make on each figure. The way they apply the eye paint, it looks great. There's no mess ups there, and it looks actually better than the box art. I got the box right here. Check that out. Yeah, maybe it's the angle, but he actually looks better on the figure than the box art, which is kind of rare. The color tones on his neck compared to his face plastic color is really off. It looks like he got a little suntan on his neck. But, you know, like I said, this is a very cheap toy. There's going to be some problems with it. This one is a different wave than this one. You can see the cut right here is different. And when you put his arms straight down, you get different lengths. This one's slightly up more than this one. I thought that was an odd choice. Things I do like is basically the overall sculpt, from his flowy hair down to his overlapping boots. The sculpt looked just really nice. I like what they did with the sash and how they have the piece of the shirt kind of overlapping. And the gauntlets look really nice, besides some paint applications, poor ones. His ear sculpts look great, and they did a pretty good job overall on sculpting. Articulation wise, he's got very little in his head. It goes left and right about that much each way. His arms have more articulation in them than I was expecting, which is nice. His arm lifts up about that high, but only goes down that much on his right and a little bit more on his left, like I showed you earlier. This joint, his elbow joint's a little weird, I would say, but it works. It swivels all the way around his forearm, but at the elbow it does twist, and if you get it twisted the wrong way, you kind of have to play with it to get where you want it. At the wrist, he does have a joint, and go back and forward and spin all around. At the waist, he doesn't spin all the way around. I thought oh no, he does, never mind. He does spin all the way around. Absolutely no ab crunch on this guy. He does have a little separating part of his tunic, and I like how they extend the piece down there so it doesn't look like it's actually separating. You don't see a white leg, which is nice. That's a nice little plus. Of course, his tunic's a little hard in the front and the back, so his legs can't really extend. You can't get any lunging poses out of him. His knees feel really weak. I feel like I might snap them. Like the plastic's very rubbery. But they do keep their spot where you leave them, so that's always nice. At the top of the boot, it does swivel all the way around, and at the wrinkle, you get a nice little motion out of here, but no toe joint, which is okay. This thing's like $10 max. It's a high-end fast food toy, like I said earlier. So articulation wise, he's nice. He's nice. All right, for accessories, you do get the Master Sword, shown here. It is purple and silver with a little bit of yellow accent on the front. As you see here, Jakks painted it perfectly, being sarcastic. Yeah, it looks pretty damn bad, but you know, whatever. It's a cheap toy. Cheap, cheap, cheap. With the scabbard, you get a little bit better paint, but you know, it's on a toy-by-toy basis. You never know what you're going to get. Luckily, this one doesn't look bad. The Master Sword could use a little bit more paint, better paint applications, but it's alright. Link looks good. That's all I really cared about. And these guys fit together pretty nicely. It won't fall out at all. It's nice and snug, but it's very easy to put in and out. It does have a little nub here for Link. It's got a little hole made for each other. Stick right in there. Lines up with the sash, and it fits on there quite nicely. Won't fall off, just like the sword, and it'll stay on there as long as you want it to. I like it. It's cool. We also got a mystery gift. Let's check this thing out. Looks pretty good for what it is. I wasn't expecting this good. Maybe like a whole blue section hitting the sides or whatever, but it looks great. On the back, you get a little arm grabber, and I guess you can pull the fingers around. Um, this thing doesn't come off at all, so you're gonna have to like weasel the fingers in there somehow. I'll try it out. Let's see how it works. So as you can see here, the shield is a little funky. The use of the clip that clips it to the hand after you put the fingers through is a little too close. It grabs at the wrist when it should be grabbing at the arm, and it makes it difficult to slide the fingers in after clipping it on. I can get some close-up angles like that. It looks fine, but it just doesn't feel right. I mean, look at that. That's what it looks like. It needs to be right about here, and it's too far back. So looking back at the figure, he's got a pretty cool sculpt. I like the Ocarina of Time Link a lot. The paint applications is decent for the price. The accessories, they're fine. Most of the paint, especially the arms, is pretty bad. The joints, they feel pretty damn rubbery or spongy. They don't feel very well constructed. It seems kind of like a Happy Meal toy, like I said, but you know, when MSRP is $8.99, this is pretty good for that price. I wouldn't try to buy this guy on Amazon for more than $10 and then have to pay shipping, or even more on eBay. If you find them at Target, snag them up. Don't pay more than $10 for him. I don't think he's worth it.